In the previous video with farmer Ray Tyler, you saw what was possible with lettuce. Now let's show you how to do it.
If you can have a big enough reason, strong enough reason to really master this crop, and if you can really lay that out where it's very clear to you, that reason, and you understand how important it is for you to master this, then I think everything else will come a lot easier. So it's really going back to knowing your why.
Ray Tyler's lettuce system isn't complicated. It's only 7 steps, executed perfectly, week after week. Step 1, choose your varieties. Not all lettuce is created equal.
Because of my own failures on the farm, what would happen is I just saw that week after week we would seed, but my goodness, come 4 weeks later, we had the worst looking transplants.
Ray learned the hard way. Variety selection can make or break your operation.
Now what you can do is you can take that first year and you're going to select all those heat-tolerant varieties from a seed company. Then you're going to grow a few of each of those varieties every single week to see if they will grow in your climate, because they may not, just because you got to think they're selecting those varieties in May during the summertime. It's going to be a different climate than West Tennessee or Texas or Florida. But then you're going to find out what grows and what sells. Your big, I would say 4 would be green leaf, red leaf, butter, romaine. Those are your big 4, right? But in those is different types of like red leaf, different types of butters. So this is where things can get really complex.
If you're in a hot area, start with heat-tolerant varieties. Test everything, track everything. And after a year of growing, you'll have a pretty good idea of what works in your area. Step 2, nail your propagation. This is where most farmers fail.
I tried to mix my own soil, which was a disaster. Couldn't get that consistent mix. I just didn't have the handling equipment to handle that much potting soil and mix it all consistently. Then I thought, I'll just go to the local co-op and get the cheapest potting soil that they had. But the problem is that that's been sitting there for a year, it could be just dead. And in fact, I would just find that some seeds wouldn't even germinate. Like it was like a germination inhibitor was in that stuff. Terrible. And then once I started going, hey, what if I try a really good, high quality, fresh? And if you just go to a nursery and ask them, what are you guys using? What's the best this stuff is? Get that. Maybe you can't afford a pallet, but just try one bale, $30, and do a side-by-side comparison with the cheapest. And I've just found that it was not even close. And so that's just one thing that I've just realized early on is spend the money and you will have good quality transplants as long as you can get your seeds to germinate. The combination of high quality potting mix and a P200 is that in 3 to 4 weeks, that plant is ready to pull out of the tray and be planted in the field consistently. Pull up plant. There's no tugging, there's no ripping roots. It just comes out effortlessly. And that's what you want. If you're going to be transplanted each week, it needs to be as effortless as possible.
Use cheap 200 cell trays. More plants per given area, less total greenhouse space needed, and they'll give you perfectly grown transplants in just 4 weeks. Step 3, protect your investment. Get your crops under cover. Start small and expand as you grow.
Most of the time when we have open field lettuce, because we get so much hail in March, it's just decimated. It's really tough. Pulling it off consistently. So we just saw if we would plant lettuce out in the field, open field with these little quick hoops or wire hoops, row cover over that, leave it on there, we could peel it back a month later. And those lettuces were almost ready for harvest. It's pretty phenomenal. The comparison between the two is so fast that it's almost laughable of like, why would I ever go back to growing out in an open field? Again, like what I've said before, this is not a all or nothing. I have a high tunnel, fully decked out, bells and whistles, but that's $30,000. There's no way I could have done that. But I can afford $250 in row cover at the end of my first growing season. Doing open field with these row covers, it really helped us make several extra $1,000 through that winter time. It really helped us a lot.
Year 1, low tunnels and cover. Year 2, caterpillar tunnels. Year 3 and beyond, full-blown high tunnel. Each infrastructure investment should pay for itself in one season. Step 4, master your harvest. Sharp night, dry conditions, and harvest before the sun hits your crop, probably before 8 a.m.
We're harvesting the lettuce, ideally before 8 a.m., no later than 10. We'd also like to harvest the lettuce as dry as possible. Then, as soon as that's getting harvested, which needs to be done with a sharp, clean knife, we found that if it's dull or if it's dirty, it can lead to oxidization of the ends of your lettuce. And so I think it's important that you have a really razor sharp knife. Generally speaking, what we're doing, we're only washing this if it absolutely has to be washed. We found that anytime you wash lettuce, it tends to decrease the shelf life. So for like head lettuce, we don't wash it.
Here's the game changer. Don't wash your crop unless you absolutely have to. It's time consuming and it's expensive. Ray saved 1 day of labor each week by growing his crop super clean, meaning he didn't have to wash it.
So if it's taking you 2 hours a day to wash salad mix, 2 hours for 100 pounds, you're doing 400 pounds a week. That's a whole day for somebody that you could cut out simply by trying to grow a cleaner.
Step 5, package for profit. Ray's sales exploded when he started bagging and labeling his product to look like a premium one.
We used to sell that loose on the booth, but then a new market that we tried to sell to, they did not like it loose. They wanted in a bag, which we did not like because that increased our post-harvest labor. What we found out, this kind of bleeds a little bit into sales, but we were only selling maybe 25 heads of lettuce a week at the market, which was terrible. Like I need to sell a few hundred. Once we put them into bags and we labeled with our just black and white laser, just easy label, we had the varieties, so say it was panisi lettuce or butter lettuce or whatever it was, our farm information, then we were able to increase our sales to 400 heads of lettuce a week simply by putting them in bags. If you want to increase your sales, most oftentimes you have to increase the amount of varieties you want to grow. But people need to know what they're getting, right? So here's a good example. We were having a hard time selling green leaf during the summertime, and it was labeled green leaf. And everybody was asking for lettuce for hamburgers this grilling season. No, we just have green leaf. So, well, makes fave burgers. They still pass. So one week I said, you don't forget this. I'm going to call this stuff burger lettuce. So I changed the name, put burger lettuce on the label, and sold out. To change names and really try to market these products, it's been a game changer.
Names matter. Burger lettuce outsells green leaf lettuce in the summers. Size matters. 1/3 pound, 1/2 pound, 1 pound. Different customers have different size requirements. Know exactly what your customers want and build your product offering specifically for those customers. Step 6, price for profit. Price high and own it.
I want to be the most expensive guy there.
Do you think that 30% margin translates equally over to lettuce?
I would say lettuce, probably 75%
Yeah.
profit. Like it's insane. It's crazy.
The math is simple. Growing cost, $2.50 per pound. Sales price, $10 per pound. Profit $7.50 per pound.
Yeah, there's probably one or two people out of 400 customers a Saturday that says y'all's prices are insane.
2 out of 400. That's less than 0.5%. It's rare. Don't price for them. Step 7. Build your system, create the machine every week on rhythm.
You have to have good, healthy transplants to be a good farmer. You need to have healthy, consistent transplants week after week in order to create this flywheel cycle of cash flow. You can't ignore it.
Let's run some real numbers. 400 pounds of lettuce per week, sold at $10 per pound. That's $4,000 in revenue per week, times 40 growing weeks. That's $160,000 in revenue from lettuce alone. And most of that is profit.
Quarter, half acre, I would say easily someone could gross $100,000 a year if they had some kind of tunnel structure that could help them in that shoulder season go through the wintertime. That to me would not be hard at all whatsoever.
Year 1, test varieties, dial in propagation. Start with simple row cover systems. Don't expect profits that year. Expect education.
You're going to take really good notes. You're going to keep logs, DTM, what was the sweetest, what folded the earliest, and you're going to keep really good track on what sold out first and what was the last remaining lettuce variety on the table. You're not going to make money that first year when you're figuring this stuff out.
Year 2, narrow down your varieties, experiment with cat tunnels, find your market. Year 3, scale up, systematize, and hire help if you need it. 7 steps to 6 figures. Step 1, choose heat-tolerant varieties. Step 2, nail propagation with healthy soil. Step 3, protect with cover. Step 4, master the harvest. Step 5, package for profit. Step 6, price high. Step 7, build your weekly system.
And so I thought about my 13 years ago self who's just getting started, knowing that this could change my farm and my famous life if I could figure out how to grow and sell this consistently.
Thanks for watching the video. If you want to learn more about growing lettuce from farmer Ray Tyler, you can check out his book using the link below. You can also check out the free 10-part video series where we went in depth on growing lettuce, which I've also linked to below. And as always, be nice, be thankful, and do the work.